What's up, gamers? Today I'm going to be going over a tutorial on how to pick out your starting um, meeps, I think they're called, for oxygen not included. So when picking, obviously there's the basic stats, and they have their traits, and then the additional information. So everything here does affect your gameplay. It can affect your early game, your late game, your middle game, whatever it may be. So I'm just going to go over some basics of what everything does. The ones that might be a little bit more confusing, for example, like athletics, not only does this increase their movement speed, but also increases how quickly they mop and sweep stuff up, which can be very helpful, especially I find in the early game or late game if you are getting the stress vomit, etc. Cooking, pretty self-explanatory. Digging, self-explanatory. Medicine. Now, a lot of people don't get into medicine that much because a lot of people just like restarting this game, and you don't really get to the point of medicine. But if you do go past, like, I want to say like 50 days, you're going to have to start worrying about your medicine, so you're going to want to have a high medic, but it's not going to affect you much in the early game. So it's one that I tend to skip when I'm picking my first crew out. Some people disagree and say that you should pick a medic right away because it can be hard to get a medic with good traits later on, but I find the early game more crucial to have things I need. Tinkering is your repairing, so if somebody gets mad and starts breaking something, or you're overheating, whatever it may be that's causing damage, tinkering determines how quickly they will fix it. Construction is how quickly they build something that you want them to build, such as your computers, your walls, anything. Anything that they need to build, construction speed is how quickly they do it. Creativity is your art, so when you start doing paintings, breaking stone, etc., creativity is what does it. Learning is actually only an early game trait that I come to find. I mean, it does increase their chance to level up in the other things, but at the same time, learning to me is more about the research. You want a high research early on, so that way you can get your traits faster instead of taking 15, 20 cycles to get your traits. You can get them all done sooner, or get the crucial ones done much sooner. And strength is just simply how much they can carry. And most people probably don't know this until later game, or sorry, not know this, but notice this till later game. When you're starting to expand, having a small strength character going way down and digging, they're constantly having to go back to dump inventory. You're having to build extra storage way down below or up above, wherever you're digging at, and it can be kind of tedious. So strength is your go-to for long distance, but again, not so much of an importance during the early game. So you do have different traits, and I'm actually going to go ahead and keep this one here. I'm actually going to be using this crew here for the series that I'll be starting in the upcoming next couple of days. That'll go over just, I'll be playing for 10-15 minutes, make a video of it, move on. But it'll be my world. So I am actually using this crew that I will be picking out here. I just wanted to go ahead and make a video to give you guys the explanations of why I choose to do this. So he's got Diver's Lungs, which is very, very good all throughout the game. Diver's Lungs is one of the best traits you can possibly have, in my opinion. It's less air consumption. Absolutely amazing. Now, on the other side of that, there is the negative trait, Mouth Breather, which consumes a lot more. You do not want mouth breathers unless it's like absolutely crucial, like you get a really good rolled something and you're fine on oxygen. If you're struggling with oxygen, you never ever want to go a mouth breather. I find Narcoleptic can be annoying that the duplicate will fall asleep anytime, but at the same time, it's not the worst thing. Biohazard gets sick all the time. Mouth breather eats your air consumption up. So I don't find Narcoleptic that big of a deal. Now, this is another one that you can go into, like, cannot perform the job something. That's fine as long as you have somebody who can do that. Like over here I have Bubbles, who's a cook. She's a high cook, so I don't need this guy to be a cook. So I could take Gastrophobia. However, he's not something I need because I already have a high miner, and he's a miner. That's his, well, I guess it's not really his highest trait. They're all fairly even. But I need a cook, and she's got Mouth Breather. So I don't want to take the Mouth Breather. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this guy until I see something that I like. Now, Scientist, a level 13 Scientist, I absolutely love this. This is a perfect rolled Scientist. Bert, you are the man. So he's a quick learner, so he gets 5 more learning skill, putting him all the way up to 13. That's 59 points of research a day and 130% skill learning. So all of these other traits are going to go up 130% faster than this guy's. And he's going to be researching 60 points a day, and he's got gastrophobia, so he can't perform the job cook. This is an absolute perfect pick. Now, when I'm re-rolling the third, what I generally like to do is look at what I have on the other two and go from there. So I have a level 8 miner, a 13 scientist. Now I need a chef. I like to have the chef early game. Some people go double miner, but if you don't roll a chef early on, you're going to be hurting. So I always take a chef as my third. But what I will do is if I see, when I'm rolling, I see a level 9 miner, then I will stop and look at his traits and everything and see how good he is. And I might actually go back and re-roll, say, if I get one over here on Bubbles, I'll go back and re-roll Nicola until I get the chef that I need. Now, I didn't go over the final thing, which is the decor expectation. Sorry, the final two things, decor expectation and stress response. So your decor expectation, generally when you start out, you want to have a low decor expectation just because you're not going to be focused on your decor, and that'll stress them out, obviously. So what you want, like, what that means is like putting your plants out, getting your paintings up and stuff like that quicker. You need to be on top of that, otherwise these people are going to start to get stressed more, which means they're working less because you're constantly having to put them on massage tables, etc. So I generally tend to go lower on the decor. 15's not bad, seeing as he's got diver lungs and narcoleptic, and he's an 8 digger, so I'm 15's alright. Now 40, I would normally never, ever take 40, but she's a quick learner with gastrophobia and 13 learning. You really can't beat that. So I'm going to go ahead and start rolling through these. Again, I need a chef. He's only a 6, scientist, miner, runner, technician, runner, architect, technician, scientist. He's only a 7, scientist 4, miner 5, technician 7. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking now and I'm going to click through these until I find a decent chef. So here's a 7 chef with creativity. So he's got interior decorating, which increases that by 5. But it also increases his expectations by 5, which is 15. That kind of hurts. So, and the final trait is their stress response. So when they start to get too stressed, they're going to do something. Nicola's is vomiting. So whenever he gets too stressed, he's just going to straight up get sick everywhere. And it can be really annoying if your base is not set up to deal with someone being sick. However, there are a lot of players who take advantage of the players puking. They set their bases up to correspond to the puke, and it can work amazingly. And if that's what you plan to do, then you only want to see stress vomiting. Now, the stress response destructive is, in my opinion, not too big of a deal because I'm good at keeping stress down, but even when I can't, they go over, they break a battery, my technician fixes it. It's something that I can normally handle pretty quickly. It's not that big of a deal. So this is actually the team that I'm going to start when I go into my series, and you'll see these as the main screen when I do go into that because that's what I'm going to be starting with. I'm going to be renaming them, all that fun stuff. And we're just going to go with it. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. I hope you like what I did, and I hope you like what I do. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on my video, and be sure to catch the next episode of Oxygen Not Included. They will be labeled. I will be doing some other tutorials as I play through the game, like I'll be taking a break and linking to a tutorial to help people out, because it's hard to find actual tutorials for this game. So, hope you guys enjoy, and see you next time.